And the reason why I think y'all feel the way you do is because we're black.
Yeah, that's why we're all here.
Yeah.
But speaking of which,
Speaking of black, Candyman.
Great segue. Great segue. It works.
Speaking
bro,
of
don't.
BET,
I don't want that to be the standard. Just so we're on the same page here, because that's like we could be like talking about Popeye. Speaking of black, I don't want that to be the standard. Like
Fried
transitional.
chicken. So black people. Yeah, no, real.
which
But in that
sprinkles
case,
do you
I'll
like?
let you have it. I'll let you have it. You had to segue it quickly.
Yeah.
You got it.
I mean, I didn't know this movie because when I first saw the original Candyman, it was through child glasses, where it's like scary
Same-
man coming
same
from
here.
the mirror.
Look,
Right.
So here's my thing. Black horror. To me, it should be its own subgenre.
True.
Because for
Yeah.
at least us, I'm sure it hits a little different. My favorite, and we talked about this on the chat.
Yo, Bones had its moments though in the chat.
Nigga, shut up.
It didn't, man.
What you talking
Watch it
about?
now. It did not. So my all-time favorite horror movie ever, at this point, won't change. Tales from the Hood.
Okay, fair.
All-time favorite.
Fair.
Had everything I wanted. Laughs. Real scared. I pissed my pants, TJ.
Oh.
I was a child, but still, I pissed my pants. It was
Okay,
9-5.
okay.
I pissed my pants because I was so scared of that movie.
Okay.
No other movie has ever made me do that. As I got older, I appreciate it for other reasons. Just like that last story where it just bombards you with just graphic ass imagery of just black bodies and just.
Right.
But for the context of the story, it was heavy handed as fuck, but it got its point across maybe too much. It was just so many different fucking things, but the black horror is what got me. For me, like, okay, a guy getting killed by cop. This is a story in Tales from the Hood. A guy gets killed by a group of cops.
Oh,
Comes back from the dead, seeks revenge on the cops. It is scary as shit. Like, it is fucking terrifying. But was so much before its time. It was before Get Out or this.
mild spoiler.
Or
Glad you
original-
like that plot point.
You like that plot? Yeah.
No, I'm glad you like that plot point.
It was. I mean, it works. It worked in the context of a horror film. This movie, Candyman, has something similar, which is why I kind of, brought that around to where, like, so we look at black horror movies differently. No one will classify them as anything separate.
I think they can
They
officially
should
get their own.
I feel like they should. Yeah,
I'll sign off on that.
Subgenre. For sure. Because to me, it just hits different because as a black person watching it, you're getting something completely different out of it
Completely agree.
than a white person is getting. This movie is one of those.
For me, it's just going back to growing up, and I see, okay, so you got Jason, you got Michael Myers, you got all these white serial killers. This is the first time I actually seen a black serial killer. And the black serial killer scared the fuck out of me with that Dolomite coat. And I'm like, fuck.
Deep
this
voice.
Is, right. That
Eloquent
draw me,
speak,
that,
yeah.
That drew me to this particular movie. And that's the
Yes.
reason why I enjoyed this movie so much. Well, the original movie,
The original,
I
yeah.
enjoyed so much because, like I said, I've never seen that before.
That was a first.
Yeah.
It flat out
It
was a
balanced
first.
social commentary and horror very well.
Back then, in 92, it did that. And the funny thing about the story, Candyman, is based on Clive Barker's short story.
Right, yeah.
In that story, he's got wild color. He's like blue with like orange lip. Like, he's a crazy looking fucking
Yeah.
character, but it's no origin story. It's no like specific dignitation of what his race is.
Right.
It's just, this is the Candyman. He has a hook. This is what he does. And so whenever it became a movie, they took hella liberties and they were like, I think we want to go a different route with this, and they made him black. But the thing about Candyman is he is very different from Jason Voorhees, from Michael Myers, Leatherface. He's the most eloquent, complex fucking horror villain I think maybe ever. Like, he really fucking is.
Don't forget that Dolomite coat, because
That coat is fly as fucking up.
man. That
And
was long
they didn't
as
let
fuck.
that coat go in the
Oh,
remake.
no.
By the way, that
no.
coat has a presence, goddammit.
Yeah.
That coat is signature. And we saw different variations. But yeah, man, like, yeah, that's it. Like, he was ours. We got one.
Yeah, we
It's
got one.
Candyman, and he was
What was you
great.
saying? You about to say something?
No, I was literally just gonna say, like, so in terms of, because I actually kind of want to, I actually want to understand, because we're getting two different flavors, so I actually want to kind of hear and I know there's going to be comparisons to the first one,
Of course.
But if you wouldn't mind, just giving me like a light, like I don't want any spoilers, but just a light synopsis of like what's going on.
I could do
Want to
that.
break that off? Yeah.
So, all right. So this movie, it's a sequel / remake / reboot. It's one of those. So it incorporates everything. Mm-hmm. And so basically, this one is about. You didn't see the original, did you?
No, okay, no. I've seen bits and pieces.
Okay. Do you remember the last scene? It's a really fucked up scene. So you remember the last scene?
Do you remember Helen, right?
Helen,
The white woman.
The white
Okay,
woman.
yeah.
So she saves a baby at the end of the original movie, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay, that baby grows up, becomes an artist,
That's cool.
starts dating I said bougie.
Teyana Paris, yeah. Beautiful woman.
Monica
melanin
Rambeau
skin.
is in this movie. She's the female lead in this movie, by the way. If that doesn't sell you, I don't know what the fuck. And so she's this art curator, and her boyfriend is an artist, and he just so happens to be the baby from that original Candyman.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And so he's all in his art. He has a bit of a block at the moment, and he can't get his next piece. Yeah. He learns the story of Candyman via his girlfriend's brother.
Brother. Yeah.
But for the majority of the movie, no, he has no clue of what happened to him and all that shit and his connection to the Candyman. And so he's told the story of the Candyman because the neighborhood, Cabrini Green, which is an actual fucked up project in Chicago, but now it's being gentrified as everything else is. And that is kind of the crux of the story is from the original movie, Cabrini Green was the setting. It was the fucking hood. Like it was
real thugs actually.
Real thugs.
The original
a thug with a fucking hook acting like Candyman, intimidating people. Like it was
real
the
hood.
worst, real. Now it's gentrified as fuck.
Okay.
First and foremost, the director and the stars flat out told you there will be no black bodies shown here. That's not what we're doing.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. They were like, no, we ain't showing any black bodies being traumatized. That period. Like
I didn't even notice that.
You're not seeing it at all. They don't. It's only one scene where Candyman kills a black person, honestly. And you don't see, it's when he was a kid and his sister.
Oh, yeah.
And so you just see him crack the door open and see like a leg with blood dripping down it.
Side note, just so you can complete the imagery, this is the Candyman they're talking about.
That motherfucker's scary. Tony Todd was great. He's fucking scary.
No.
You didn't think he was scary?
No.
Really? The way they filmed that, you didn't think that was creepy?
The way he filmed it, yes, but the person who played Candyman was not scary to me.
You didn't think so?
No.
That motherfucker creeped the fuck out of me.
I said, man, that look like somebody. That look like Ned the Wino from Good Times.
Well, when he's alive, yes.
No, he
living him, yeah.
Tony Todd embodied it because to me, it's the voice. It was a costume. That jacket don't intimidate me.
The thing
I could buy that from Neiman Marcus.
I will give you that. A little bit, I will give you that. First, he did scare me.
That scene,
But it was like, when they saw the scenes of him actually dead, like the ghost version of him was creepy as fuck.
Fair.
You only see glimpses. Like, he doesn't have like a full-on, like if someone will die and someone will look in the mirror and see his face just smiling at him. To me, that was creepy as fuck. And I get why you didn't think that, because you're a Tony Todd guy. Like, that's Candyman.
Yeah.
And I'm with you with that. Because the whole time watching this, I'm like, okay, when's Tony Todd coming?
Right.
Even with that dude creeping me out every now and again, I'm like, okay, when is Tony Todd coming?
Let me just say this. The original Candyman, in my opinion, was ahead of his time because of the fact that it balanced both social commentary and horror movie, or just horror elements. The interesting thing about Candyman to me, and I read this back in the day a little bit, is that it got flack from our own people because the way it depicted black people, right? With the thugs and so forth.
And I agree.
So, to me, it was just ahead of its time. Now, fast forward to now, where you have Get Out, Us, Them, Hair. You
Any
have
other one word goddamn title,
It's
black
like-
horror,
It's so oversaturated with social comments or social horror. It just feels like
Every black horror movie has to have social commentary.
right. It just
Antebellum
feels
failed, by the way.
oversaturated. And when I saw this film, and they were saying that every black man that had wrongdoing, they become the new Candyman. I'm just like, but why take that angle, right? I'm okay with just having one Candyman. That's it. The presence of this Candyman here didn't intimidate me. He was just a nigga with a hook.
There is something I took away from the movie
Nice
that I
jacket,
think you
though.
didn't, but I can't say it because it's heavily spoilers. Oh, that's the only thing. So I have to
can't
say
spoil
it.
it for TJ.
Yeah.
I really
But
want you.
it just felt like an oversaturated movie bringing this back. And it's like, man, I waited a year for this, and I'm just like, why are the kills off screen? I mean, it just.
Oh my God, man!
The
you have
kills-
such a disagreement on this. Okay.
I like the bathroom scene, right? You know the girls that says Candyman in the bathroom scene, right?
The teenagers.
The teenagers.
Yeah.
The kills were off screen. I'm just thinking, this is too much going down the path of when her friend in the original one got killed off screen, but you
Yes.
can hear it.
You can hear
it.
it,
It was
yeah.
gruesome, right? I'm like, but we're
It's a whole movie of that.
right. It just
Yeah.
felt like that. Well, except for the couple at the beginning
Yes.
and the art.
That's the only
that's
one
the
you
only
see.
one. That's
The
the only
only
one you
one you
see.
see,
But I'm
yeah.
just saying that in this day and age, it just feels so oversaturated with the social horror, and it's just like, can we be a little bit more creative than at this particular point? It just
So I guess what I'm saying is you're hoping for, because what seems to be missing is the balance, right?
yes,
Right,
yes.
where there needs to be more of the horror aspect, because we'll just use one of the more recent ones, Get Out as an example, right?
Right.
Oh, speaking of which, Jordan Peele wrote this script.
Both him and Nia DaCosta did actually. Yeah,
With both whom I love, you can tell. You
very
can
much
really fucking
the
tell.
dialogue. Yeah, you
Yes,
can tell.
it's
Yeah.
very much a Jordan Peele joint.
Because you can count, because what make Get Out so good, right, is that I'm kind of with you, where I was like, it is not necessarily. I said what makes it so scary is its practicality and
Right.
kind of those situations, and then all those moments where you've been like, yeah, I've been in a situation like
Right.
this where you're like, oh man, I'm surrounded by a lot of uncomfortable white people. And I don't know how I feel. But it was all like, but it had like you're saying, a really good balance of the social commentary, but you don't get hit with it until you're a little bit near deep into it.
Right. There's parts in that movie I'm just saying, do we really have to go down this path? Do we really have
It
to
hit
put
a
this in
point
there?
to where I was like, okay, it's so blatant, it's so upfront and
Right.
obvious to where like
So,
it's kinda, not yet. It's on that path of taking me out of it just a little bit because
Yeah.
you're piling this one on. I get what you're doing,
Piling on thick.
but goddamn, like
cocoa
you're
butter.
spelling it out. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's
so, and because I actually want to get into what you like
Yeah.
too, but I actually have a very interesting way, right? Because I don't have the answer for this either. And the reason why I think y'all feel the way you do is because we're black.
yeah. That's why we're all here.
So we don't need to hear it. Whereas, so with Get Out, right?
Right.
The reason why it works so well is because it's a relatable thing.
Right.
That you're like,
Right.
I've been in a situation like that.
I've been
Right.
a white girl and had to meet her parents.
Yeah. Now, the difference here, from my understanding, right, is that it's going to create a cycle based on factors that are outside our own means.
Right.
Nigga, I know that. But that's not nearly as funny and or lighthearted. Like, I don't need to be depressed in the movie. So how would they juggle it? Because ultimately, the reason why I think it's so hammered in, right? Anytime something's hammered into the core is for the audience who doesn't get it, right? Or the audience who maybe does, but they need to be shown in their face.
So here's the
But
thing.
I'm just curious, like,
Here's the
but the-
thing. Like,
Go
Get
ahead.
Out in this movie, it accomplishes, I think, one thing. It's going to get some white people like, oh, God, I get it.
I don't know about that one.
No. It's not going to last, Marco. It's going to be temporary. But
Donations to the black
Yeah.
organization, and they stop after a while. Yeah,
the
yeah,
day
yeah.
after the movie's over, they're going to,
Yeah.
And it's going to be that. It's going to be another black square to where, like, okay, at this moment, after this film,
Yeah.
I get it. I'm going to forget tomorrow. I get it right now.
Right.
But at least I get it. At least here, it's in my head. Get Out had kind of the same effect to where like, oh, fuck, wow. All right, yeah, you want to go to Starbucks? Cool, let's go. And it's like that to where it'll click for a little bit, but at least it'll click. That the thought will get into the head like, God damn, okay, yeah, we do kill a lot of black people. And for that, okay, if that was the goal for this whole movie, you're going to get that moment from white
course.
audiences. For
course.
us, yes, we see it coming. Like, we see it. We see the writing on the wall to what the fuck this is. To where, like, you know,
Literally.
it's allegory to George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. I got it. Get it. I mean, the say my name thing was like, you didn't have. That was the part that got me. That didn't have to be the slogan of the film because that was so synonymous with real shit to where it was like, not for Candyman. Like, I mean, you told this story. We get it. We got it. You know, they might not get it, but we got it. So that's what we got out of this. They got something else out of this. But the fact they do hammer it very hard home towards the end, to where it's just like, all right, if this movie goes on another 10 minutes, it might change how I feel about it. It doesn't. Like, once we get to that heavy ass handed point, it's the end of the movie.
But I just don't understand, why was that even necessary? Like, why was that part even necessary?
It had to connect it. That was, and you could tell that was the point. The point was to connect this to social
We'll get to that.
issues.
I know what the last scene is. I watched the last scene.
Oh,
so
okay.
We'll get into that.
I would like to know your thoughts on what you thought of that last
We'll get into
scene.
that into the last 10 minutes of this podcast. We'll say, hey,
this is what happens in the last scene.
In regards
we
to,
won't tell you.
You're saying that because we're black, I think that in my
that
opinion,
last 10 minutes is heavy-handed as fuck.
True.
Yes.
But for me is that I judge black film a lot harder than I do
too.
anything
100%.
else.
Same here.
Because I want black film to do well. I don't
It's why I had to go home and tell my mom, like, you know, last time I went home, I had an argument about why Tyler Perry movies do not help us.
Right.
No, burn all
right.
them
I'm tired of
motherfuckers.
seeing this black woman going through crack and then she
tired of
finds
seeing Mr.
awards.
Brown, Jordan. I'm tired of seeing Mr. Brown.
I don't want to see that anymore. But it's just that because I want black films to do well.
Yes.
And this past few years, we had the Oscars so white situation, right? I know I'm going a different path, but
No, you're not, because we probably should have had every nomination in the Best Picture category.
But it's just that now is that when we got the Oscar so white, it just seems like everything is handed to us on a platter. We didn't. Some of it actually we did hard work on,
Yes.
and
And
some of the stuff is like,
you know
okay,
what it is, Jordan?
Moonlight, for example,
Mm-hmm.
right? Good film. Did it deserve an Oscar? Absolutely not.
You know what?
But they gave
Controversially, I
it
think
to
La
him.
La Land probably should have deserved it more. Yeah,
It's just that,
Yeah, I mean, I actually really like Love.
me
no
too.
doubt,
Yeah.
I did like La La Land,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying that it seems like now things are handed to us on a platter. Every category, you have to have somebody multiracial. You got to do. It's like.
Every
So
Best
how do we
Picture gotta have a
determine
black movie in
if it's actually a legitimate good movie
That
at
is
this
my
particular
thing
point?
too.
That's what I'm
because
saying.
It's like, all right, cool. Like every other year, we gonna give a black person
Right.
an Oscar for something, directing, acting, whatever.
Yeah.
It's a pattern almost at this point to where like, okay, we'll skip this year. Green Book, you win. Skip this year. Judas and the Black Messiah. There you
Right.
go. You
They
get
gonna
one.
win. Yeah, of course.
It's like every other fucking year.
Yeah.
A black person's gonna win because hey, we
course.
got to. Obligation, mandate. We got to do it.
Better
And-
pause, because Judas and the Black Messiah definitely
no, that shit
deserves
deserved
it.
it. That one deserved
sure.
it. That one
For
deserved
sure,
it.
I agree. That's what I'm saying.
Green
Like,
Book did not.
of course, but I think that's what I'm saying in regards
Hey,
to
we're in an off year.
how do we make
They're
that
right.
judgment? How do we make that judgment of what's actually considered good and legitimate
And what's token.
not and what's token? at
Yeah,
all?
I love this movie. So it's my number 3 of the year.
It's number 3.
So fucking
It
cool.
climbed to Fear Street.
No, Fear Street's number 1.
No, I said it climbed a Fear Street.
Oh yeah, it did. Fear Street 1, Suicide Squad 2, this 3.
Judas is right there.
4. Judas is 4. It's not my fault it came out when it came out.
No. I know you didn't just put Fear Street above Judas and the
love
Black
Fear Street.
Messiah. I
did,
know.
man.
Sigh, my friend.
Fear Street 2.
Sigh.
Fear Street 2 specifically. I don't know why I love that movie. I
don't know why you love that movie either.
fucking much. But Suicide Squad second. This so fucking close to Suicide Squad to being just my all-time.
Yeah.
To me, just right off the bat, the direction is Oscar caliber direction.
Side note on that,
Yeah.
Nia Costa is the first black director
To get a number 1, which was fucking insane to me. When I'm
Wait,
like,
she had
it's
a, what, number 1
2021.
what?
Yeah, the first black female director to ever have a number 1 movie.
Really?
That's insane.
Wait, over Ava
DuVernay, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Good for she's great. She's talented as shit.
She is talented. Well,
I've seen
except
her
for
movie-
Wrinkle in Time, but we're not going to talk
Oh
about
no,
that.
not Ava. Ava took some missteps.
Yeah.
She getting back on track. She's getting back on track. It had Oprah in it. So that's fine.
Opening up thyroids.
I act like that movie doesn't exist.
yeah, I
you
don't.
should.
I agree.
Some wrinkle
should.
on her history. I'm good.
We can scrap it, Ava. Selma, and that was it. Selma. That was all. That's the,
But the direction.
Yeah.
It was fucking gorgeous.
Oh,
It
okay.
is beautiful.
Cinematography, I'll give it to
It
you.
is amazing,
Beautiful.
man. And it is like, damn near every shot is fucking gorgeous. Gorgeously shot. To me, I love seeing black successful people.
Of course.
I love it. I
course.
love it to fucking death.
love
Give me
it.
some bougie black people.
Yeah.
Please give me some
Well,
bougie
you
black
got plenty
people.
in this movie.
That's all you got. And I loved every minute of it, man. I love that. Show me some upper echelon black people. Show me what black people should be. Art curators, artists. Show me that.
Tyler Perry movies.
Tyler Perry don't show you shit but crackheads and Mr. Brown. Fuck that nigga.
So we got good direction,
Great direction,
and we've got
Great
Great
cinematography.
cinematography.
great cinematography.
and seeing black people succeed.
Seeing black people succeed. Pacing is always my thing. And so it is lots of people who think there are lulls in this movie to where it's like,
Yeah.
okay, I kind of lost interest. I never really did. It came points to where I was like, all right, I'm kind of, sort of, but it always did something that hooked me back in.
Okay.
This is a very unconventional horror movie.
Yeah.
That's why I love it probably the most. It does not show black, but it barely shows just graphic violence.
Right.
You said...
Is this
you don't-
movie R?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is. And so you said, like, we don't see really any kills. You don't. You see one I thought was so fucking beautifully shot. I'm like, this one kill sold me. I don't
Okay.
need to see anymore. It was the one where it was a pan out shot of the critics'
Oh,
apartment.
yeah. He had to do that white woman like that.
Yeah, he did. So it was like, so Candyman, he asked her to say Candyman 5 times. She does. We don't know that at the moment. And he freaks out because he's having a Candyman vision. He's like, oh, his hand from the beast thing starts to rot. It's body horror also.
True.
Body horror is a big part of this movie.
Oh, I can't do body horror. That's the one.
Steven
that gets me.
Cronenberg level
You-
body
you'll see,
horror.
like, a
It's
small bit
gross
of it.
as
Yeah.
fuck. Like when he pulls his nail out, the whole fucking theater was like, ugh,
Yeah.
when that happened. So yeah, no,
forgot about
his
that.
hand rots, and it is the hand that should be amputated, which a hook will be put in, and you know that's coming. And so it's just like, okay, this was a beast thing. How the fuck is your arm rotted all the way
Right.
up to here?
Right.
And you don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Clearly you don't care because you are so obsessed in this mode. The obsession is scary. That shit is scary. The fact he doesn't care because he's so obsessed. It's things like that that make this movie scary. Like I said, the one scene where the critic dies, to me, that was the best kill scene. Because
Of course it would be when the critic
it's
dies.
a pan out. It's a literal pan out. It's not like any other kill scene you would see. He freaks out. He sees a Candyman vision. He runs. He's like, oh, God, I have to leave. We pan out to see just a view of the window of the apartment
The
along with
balcony.
other apartments.
Yeah.
And you see him run out. You see her storm out like, what the fuck? All of a sudden, like she gets lifted up. Her throat gets slashed. She gets scraped across the fucking window. The blood smearing everywhere. You're like, what the fuck? It was very creatively done to the point where I'm like, you don't really have to show me any more kills. That kill and the way you did that was creative enough. And the atmosphere that you've built tells me I don't need to see that. That's not what this is. This is something different. That's what the fuck I love about this movie. This is a horror movie that's done in a completely different way. Blood and gore is not its selling point. That's not what you're here for. You're here for psychological horror, body horror, social horror. That is what you're here for. And it accomplished, to me, it accomplished all those fucking things A+. Look, so the ending is not like and when I say ending, I don't mean like, fuck, man, this movie's not structured normally.
No, it's not.
It's not. Like,
Hell no.
it really is no climax.
No.
It is no climax. It just kind of something weird and major happens. You see Tony Todd, it's over. And so
I don't understand the dudes because I saw scenes.
Right.
I saw this on YouTube and
Yeah, it's
Vimeo.
on
I saw
YouTube.
scenes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm missing a little bit of context.
Yeah.
And one is the dude that instigates the transformation. I was like, why did he just do a role reversal? Like he was like kind
I'm
of.
fucking like, where
I wouldn't want to be fucking Candyman.
I would.
Okay. I wouldn't.
Let me
But
fuck some of these exes up real quick. Yeah.
slight spoilers. Slight spoilers. The little boy that you see at the beginning is the man at the end that is fucking crazy. And so he facilitates this to where like, okay, you're the next Candyman. And we're going to make that happen. Let me chop off your fucking hand, jam a hook in it. Welcome. You're now the new Candyman. And we don't know that. We think he's a helpful guy. Like, we think, okay, this guy just knows everything
Right,
about
right.
this lore. We saw him as a kid. He didn't seem weird. Now he's fucking crazy. And so that happens. Sorry. She kills him. And I apologize, TJ.
He's not paying attention.
Oh, he's on his phone.
I'm ordering food.
Do that. Do that. Don't pay attention.
That's what I'm trying. I'm like
Okay.
trying not to pay attention.
And so that happens. And we just, at that point, discover, okay, he's crazy. We thought he was an ally. He's not. She kills him. By that point, it's too fucking late. The boyfriend, Anthony, the baby from the original, he's gone. Like, he's
out of it.
Yeah, that little thing.
Methamphetamine.
I lied to you, TJ. So that little, like, his hand rotting goes all the way up to his face.
Yeah.
And it looks like a burn. Like, this motherfucker has been severely burned. And his eyes pale and, like, he's fucked up.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's gone at this point. So he lets the guy chop his fucking hand off, no problem. Doesn't react to it at all. And she's sitting there watching this whole thing horrified, like, what the fuck is going on? She kills the evil guy. Cops show up. Here's the heavy-handed shit.
Just shoot him. And just shot
They
the
Fred
dude.
Hampton him. They straight up Fred Hampton.
He was
this
just laying there.
motherfucker.
He
Yeah.
already passed
He was
out.
I don't even know if he was conscious.
And they just shot him.
They just 2 shots, pop, pop, pop. And we think they shot her.
But they shot
And
him.
she looks up, sees blood. They just shot him. He's cradled in her arms on the ground, like not doing anything. He's still himself somewhat at this point.
Right.
They off him. He's dead. It's not even that big of a deal because, of course, cops are going to do that. And so they arrest her, naturally, handcuff her, put her in the back of the car, and basically tell her, so it was him, right? So we were justified to killing him, correct?
He was coming at my partner and one of the officers and some shit like that. I just
had to defend himself, right? Or
the original ending to Get Out.
Right. Or that is what I thought too. I was like, this is how Get Out should have ended. Or you can take or you did all this. What's it gonna be? And it's just like, fuck, man. Like, what are you doing here? Like, and it comes kind of out of nowhere to where it's like, all right, so we got to have this in here. And it comes to the point to where it's a straight, continuous shot, which I always find creepy, especially when you do it in a horror movie.
Yeah.
To where it's like visceral, intense, steady cam following every move.
Halloween was like that.
Halloween was like he comes out, bees on his face. We know he just got killed. How the fuck is he back? Oh shit. Killing every cop in fucking sight while she's in the backseat observing it all handcuffed, can't do shit.
Right.
You missed that she said it in the rearview mirror. That's the only thing.
Oh, that's yeah, she said Candyman because hey, that was the only way I could get saved. Hopefully that works. Yeah. It did. So it was, and so she gets out the car, and one cop runs off, and she gets out the car, sees that he got him too.
Right.
This Candyman has bees completely covered his face, so you don't see who it is. He walks across the car. You see his reflection, and you see the different Candymans of every different era as the bees kind of separate, and you can see his face. And we see Candyman we've never even seen before.
Right.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, it's Tony Todd, and I think this will like Say My Name, something like that.
Tell everyone.
Tell everyone.
Yeah.
Movie
It's in the
ends.
trailer.
Yeah. And that's it.
Well, there's an add-on.
Huh?
There's an after credit scene.
I didn't
Really?
see that
I didn't
one.
see that.
Yep.
What was
I
it?
did not.
So the after credit scene is like the paper mache, but it goes through all the other Candymen. It goes through 5 different stories.
God damn it!
It's
Fuck, I wanted to see that.
It's on YouTube somewhere. So
Okay, if not, it will be soon.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
to me, it just felt like it was rushed. They didn't know how to end it. And so they thought, let's just
That I
throw
will
this
give
in.
you. Yeah.
You know, it didn't fit the story, but they had to end it in a way that made it impactful because to me, there was no climax. You just had this crazy
no
dude
climax.
at the laundromat.
It was zero fucking
Cutting this man,
climax.
which I actually think that the reason why he did that is because he felt guilty for the first person he killed. So he's like,
he
let me
got him
relieve
killed.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let me relieve him. Let me create a different Candyman at this
You're
particular
relieved.
point.
Now's the time for the next one.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me let your spirit go. So we're going to create a brand new Candyman.
Right.
That's how I took it. But
Okay, that's a good. Yeah, I like that.
to me, it just.
So what I'm taking away already is this ending is open to interpretation because
It is.
It really is.
Because I took something completely different that kind
There
of
you
justifies
go.
everything.
Which means it's brilliant.
What I had taken away is because I didn't even, it wasn't even my opinion. I watched a couple scenes because that didn't make sense to me what was going on. So it was like explains the ending, and they were saying Candyman is still the original Candyman. He will always be the original Candyman.
Always be Tony Todd.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is just him. He's not helping them. He's eating their souls.
Right.
That's why when he makes a new Candyman, it's just another drone in his hive. It's like he's not.
He's the beekeeper. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's what. He's not actually helping anybody.
Well, he never really did.
Yeah. But that's what people. That's what makes it less heavy-handed. If there is a sequel, it's like, no, this is the monster that will still kill you.
Yeah.
Right.
That,
he'll seduce you and say eloquent things, but yes, he will.
If I may say this, when they have the new Candyman and he dies from the cops,
yeah,
I didn't understand until later on in the story. I didn't understand why were the bees so significant? Because
not for him. That's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. But they didn't explain that until further down the road.
That's
like,
Tony
okay, now
Todd
because
shit.
it's Tony Todd's spirit, right?
Right.
But if they never told that story, I'm like, so what the fuck the bees got to do with this guy dying? Can I just say this though? As a horror movie fan, growing up, I've always loved gore.
Yeah.
I love
That's what
gore.
you go to horror
That's why
movies for.
You're right.
Yeah.
So when I compared this film to the original Candyman, for example, the counselor in the beginning where he's cut the guy's back and you can literally see the blood gushing out of this man's back.
Yeah.
That's interesting. When Helen kills her husband at the end, right? Specific. Even the off-skill kill. Right.
Yeah.
Even the off-skill
Dude,
off-screen kill. That was
to me in all horror movies one of the best fucking scenes from the original Candyman when she wakes up into a fucking hole with dead bodies and like covered in blood and like what the fuck happened?
The dog is killed.
And then old girl attacks her like bitch. I'm like that was just jarring. Like what the fuck did that come from? It's none of that here.
Right.
Yeah.
The bathroom scene is like I wanted more
with the teens. That was the moment to give you. To give those gore fans what they wanted, to give horror movie fans exactly what the fuck they wanted.
Before you say something, real quickly, the young lady that kisses the mirror and makes a smiley face, you telling me that they only introduced her in that one scene at the gallery just to show that, she's going to get killed in the later on? It was lazy. Right, it was lazy.
Honest to God, if I'm being honest, really leaving the gallery owner his girlfriend, kind of lazy.
Yeah,
not impressive.
I mean, it's
a good scene. It's a scene that will keep you interested in like, okay, let me see what happens next. What you got? 1 through 10. What do you give it?
A 7.
Oh.
This is my favorite thing. It's like I will be at Sam's throat, and then we'll get to the final rating.
Like y'all are like one off.
One off.
Yeah.
I give it a 7. I give it a low 7.
It's not going to be that here. Go ahead.
Okay. What about you, Tommy?
9.
Right.
Straight 9.
Easily pleased.
Easy 9. Easy 9.
Marco?
I'll go 8, just to meet everybody in the middle.
God damn, so we're all just 7 through 9.
After what I heard, it's a 5 for me.
How the fuck?
I haven't even watched the movie.
You got
That's
a 7 through 9. So you should be falling around 8-ish. 8.5.
Bro, no, I'm not a sheep. I do not follow the crowd.
TJ.
I'm a contrarian.
You are successful. I say this with respect. Bougie black man who's doing very well. I mean that as a compliment because he's what you should want to be.